A janitor in Vermont used safety pins to hold his coat together. A secretary in Brooklyn took the subway to work every day for 67 years. A laundress in Mississippi washed clothes by hand until her fingers couldn't move anymore. When they died, their families were shocked, not because they left nothing behind, because they left millions. Combined, the 10 people I'm about to tell you about accumulated over $70 million, and not one of them had a high-paying job. Here's how ordinary people quietly built extraordinary fortunes, and what they can teach us. We've been told a story about wealth, that you need a high income, a fancy degree, connections, luck, but what if that story is wrong? In 1996, a book called The Millionaire Next Door revealed something surprising. The typical American millionaire doesn't live in a mansion, doesn't drive a luxury car, doesn't wear designer clothes. They're your neighbors, living quietly, saving consistently. The people I'm about to share with you took this to an extreme. They weren't just frugal, they were invisible. For decades, they lived modest lives while accumulating fortunes that would shock their families, their communities, and eventually, the world. What made them different wasn't luck. It wasn't timing. It wasn't a secret stock tip. It was behavior. And that's what makes their stories so powerful. Because if a janitor can become a millionaire, so can you. Let's meet them. In 1935, a secretary named Grace Groner bought 3 shares of Abbott Laboratories stock. Total cost, $180. Then she did something radical. Nothing. The market crashed. She held. World War II started. She held. Recessions came and went. She held. Every dividend check, she bought more shares. For 75 years, Grace lived in a 1-bedroom house, bought clothes at garage sales, and walked everywhere. When she died at 100 years old, those 3 shares had become 100,000 shares, worth $7 million. She left it all to her alma mater for scholarships. Her secret? Patience. 75 years of it. Ronald worked at a gas station for 25 years. Then he became a part-time janitor at JCPenney. He wore flannel shirts, drove a used Toyota Yaris, and famously used safety pins to hold his coat together. One time, a stranger at a diner paid for his breakfast because they thought he couldn't afford it. He could. When Ronald died at 92, his estate was worth $8 million. He owned 95 different stocks, many held for decades. He left $6 million to his local library and hospital. The hospital named a wing after him. The janitor who looked broke funded a building. Sylvia Bloom was a legal secretary at the same law firm for 67 years. She took the subway to work every day, even at 96 years old, even in snowstorms. Her secret was clever. As a secretary, she placed stock orders for her bosses, and every time they bought a stock, she bought the same one, just in smaller amounts. For 67 years, she quietly mirrored the investments of Wall Street lawyers. When she died, she left $9 million to scholarship funds for disadvantaged students. Her niece said she had an "oh my God" moment when she saw the will. Ann Scheiber worked as an IRS auditor. She never made more than $4,000 a year. She was never promoted, likely because she was a woman and Jewish in mid-century America. When she retired at 51, she had just $5,000 saved. But auditing tax returns taught her something. Wealthy people owned stocks, so she started buying and holding for 50 years. Her lawyer said she ran rings around Warren Buffett. When she died at 101, her portfolio was worth $22 million. She left it all to fund scholarships for women. Oseola McCarty washed clothes by hand for 75 years. Starting at age 8, she'd scrub, rinse, wring, starch, and iron. Workdays ended at 11 p.m. She left school in 6th grade to care for her family. She never went back, but from her first payday, she saved. Pennies in a doll buggy as a child. Then a savings account she never touched for 75 years. When arthritis finally stopped her at 86, she donated $150,000 to the University of Southern Mississippi. For scholarships she never got to use herself, President Clinton gave her a medal. Harvard gave her an honorary degree. A laundress, honored by Harvard. Genesio Morlacci came to America from Italy at 19 with a third-grade education. He opened a dry cleaning shop in Montana and later worked as a janitor. He patched the patches on his pants, turned his shirt collars inside out when they frayed. His philosophy? If you don't need it, don't buy it. He lived to 102 and left $2.3 million to a local college for scholarships. He never met the students his money helped. He didn't need to. Doris Schwartz was a flight attendant, then a teacher. Her friends said she lived like a bag lady, surviving on peanut butter and ice cream. While traveling for work, she made small investments around the world. When she died at 93, she left $3.4 million to help teachers and students in Pennsylvania. Margaret Southern was a teacher of special needs children in South Carolina. Her husband was an actuary who left her a modest inheritance. She managed her own investments until she was 80. After that, she asked a wealth manager to help, but only if he promised to care for her dachshund, Molly, if anything happened to her. She lived to 94 and left $8.4 million to charities for children and animals. Gilmore and Golda Reynolds lived in Osgood, Indiana. Population 1,600. Every day they pored over newspapers, tracked stocks, and made charts by hand. For decades. When they died, they left $22 million to their tiny town, a couple from a town most people have never heard of, funding their community forever. So what did they have in common? None of them had high salaries, none had inheritances, none had lucky breaks, but all of them shared 5 behaviors. 1, they lived below their means, way below. Safety pins, subway rides, peanut butter dinners. 2, they invested consistently, small amounts, but always, every month, every year, every decade. 3, they held for the long term, through crashes, through wars, through recessions. They didn't panic, they didn't sell. 4, they reinvested everything. Dividends weren't for spending, they were for buying more. 5, they played the long game. Grace Groner held for 75 years, and Scheiber for 50. Ronald collected dividends for decades before anyone knew. This is the real secret of wealth. It's not about earning more, it's about behaving differently for a very long time. Here's what these 10 people teach us. Wealth isn't about income, it's about behavior. It's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. And the most powerful wealth-building tool isn't a stock tip or a side hustle, it's patience. Every single one of these people gave their fortunes away. Libraries, hospitals, scholarships. They didn't build wealth to spend it, they built it to leave something behind. So the next time you see someone in worn-out clothes, driving an old car, living simply, don't feel sorry for them. They might be building something you can't see. If this gave you something to consider, please subscribe. I post new videos every week exploring ideas like this.
Something to consider. So